A unique poetry evening was held in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The poetry evening was held in 2 episodes at Stockton University's Noah's Arts Garage on Wednesday evening, local time. The event was hosted by South Jersey Poets Collective. Emari Djiorgio, the lifeblood poet of the evening, appeared in Dish as soon as the 7 o'clock bell rang at the grandfather clock of Noah's Arts Garage. In the first part of the poetry evening, 13 poets opened their poems one by one in the lively performance of this lively young lady. From that jump came out one by one the uttered verses from the heart of the poets. There is a wonderful combination of love, politics, social inconsistency, war and patriotism in the spoken lines of the poets. And it touches the lives of the poets present in the auditorium. At the end of each performance, the poets applauded loudly. In the poetry evening, Bangladeshi American poet journalist Subrata Chowdhury participated in poetry readings with mainstream American poets. Emily Hamilton, Dylan Clark, Joel Diaz, Peter Murphy quenched the thirst of the poetry lovers by reciting heart-touching poems in the evening. 10-minute break at the end of the first episode. During this break, the poets exchanged views with the poets while sipping coffee. At the beginning of the second episode of Poetry Evening, the host poet Emari Djiorgio came to Dish again. The main attraction of the poetry evening is the presentation of the biography of Martin Jude Farwell and a brief account of his poetry in front of the poets. As soon as the invited poet Dish came and stood at his invitation, the lovers greeted him with loud applause. Soaked in the greetings of the poets, he recited several poems one by one for about an hour. His aesthetic and artistic performance touches the hearts of the poets. They fall in love with a different kind of love. The poem is called The Evening Curtain in Rhythm with the Hands of the Clock. Poetry that proves to be the food of life is proved once again in this evening of poetry, and that is why the lovers of poetry go back to their homes with a sigh of satisfaction as they put on the lovely rain scattered all over the auditorium. Subrata Chowdhury. Bongshai News. Atlantic City, New Jersey, USA.